701 made his presence known to others. In fact, the engines could hear him before they could see him.
"I don't know why your controller bothers to keep your lot around," he said that evening. "Should take our example or get an engine like myself."
"Perhaps he thinks your example is too brush," remarked Doc. "We get along just fine without it, thank you," added James.
"It is lost then,"
sniffed 701.
"It's engines like you that slow railway down. Diesel engines like me drive railway into future with our superior speed and strength."
"And Gregory engine?" Bear asked cheekily. 701 sniffed crossly.
"I see you will not again take me seriously," he huffed.
"I shall take my business elsewhere." He rode indignantly away to the diesel depot. The engines released in silence.
"What a loud mouth," fumed Gordon.
"You made a strange friend, Bear. He's not a friend of mine," Bear explained.
"Believe me,
I couldn't stand for his sermons on superiority either." "I'm glad to see him off tomorrow, that noisy gargoyle," grumbled Henry, and the other murmured in agreement. Virgil had just returned from the works. Bill and Ben were puzzled. "It didn't seem like there was anything wrong with you," Bill said suspiciously. "Oh, nothing wrong," smiled Virgil. "I was given a new equipment." "Why, you look exactly the same," said Ben. "The equipment is on the inside," chuckled Virgil. "Sir Topham Hatt had the alert system installed in my cab. It's a button that hasn't pushed on soon it started flashing." "And if it's not pushed?" Bill asked. "My brakes come on. It's there to make sure my driver paying attention, especially when I take the midnight goods." "I assumed Sir Topham Hatt wants to take caution after the recent starring of Sleeping Signalman," Virgil chuckled. "Pah," teased Ben. "More like he wants to be sure you don't fall asleep on a job." Industrial engine. At the end of Tiresome Branch, there's a black tank engine named Carl. He's owned by a Tiresome aluminium company and he works as a shunter there. He's the hard worker. He shunts a line of trucks loaded with aluminium and others can take them to the mainland. Sometimes he takes goods trains to the mainline junction. Some of the engines were impressed by his handiwork and his strength. However, he sometimes got boastful after someone praised for his work. "You know, Danny, my boy," he grinned whenever he saw someone, "I can be professional at both shunting and taking freight rate. It should be better that you work without bragging about your work all the time." But Carl is always too puffed up to listen. One evening, the fat controller came to see Carl. "The docks at Edward Branch line became busier than ever. So much so that Salty can't handle it alone. I heard you used to work at the docks in your old home country, so I trusted you to do this job." "Yes, sir, but who is taking after here?" "I already arranged that for Black Shunter from Nafford Yard to handle here." "Right away, sir," I do me best. Good. I'm counting on you, Carl. Smooth operations. Mike was in state. Horrid, awful, bumpy. Are you doing one of those self-assessments the small controller told Driver about? Asked Bert. Certainly much as how A described Mike's handling of coaches, chuckled Jock. It's not my handling, it's the wretched coaches themselves, Mike huffed. Never had such a terrible journey before. They need repairs, or perhaps the passengers should ride on trucks. A completely unbased suggestion from the freight-loving engine, chortled Rex. Be sensible, Mike. The coaches were inspected before the season began. They're in peak conditions. You, on the other hand... Mike turned bright red while the other engine chuckled.
Importance of being earnest. Several farms dotted the mountainside. Ernest and the workmen had stopped near one of these to tend the track. They found it hard to work. The farmer was giving them an earful. "Useless," he muttered. "That's what it is. Lost all my pace and quiet when your noisy beast came round. You burgeon laying your ugly rails down, and you can't even stay on them. Lucky your little friend didn't hurt my sheep, or you'd be in for it." "The very nerve," Ernest fumed in the shed. "Did you ever know anyone to say such rude things?" "Oh, manager warned me about him," remarked Wilfred. "They call him Old Paddy, cross about the railway from day one, and never fails to mention it." "I sympathise with him," added Colty. "I'd be upset to railway suddenly run through my backyard." "Bother your backyard. He told Driver I had to stop whistling. Says it frightens the sheep." "Rubbish," huffed Ernest. "Stop me whistling indeed. Like to see him try." Cody knew better than to play devil's advocate when Ernest was cross, so he said no more.
Teddy bear. One chilly morning, the engines were just being prepared for the day's work ahead. Gordon was talking loudly, to no one in particular. A railway is nothing without its passenger service. Goods trains are all well and good, but without passengers, a railway has no real reputation. We have a duty of care to the people who travel on our railway. Bear, who was just waking up, was curious. Duty of care? What do you mean by that, Gordon? Looking after our passengers there, exclaimed Gordon. Ensuring they are boarding the right train, informing them of train times and making them feel comfortable. Is having your whistle jammed part of your duty of care, Gordon? Teased Henry. Gordon snorted and rolled out of the shed, leaving Bear with a lot to think about. The Tiresome Branch. A new clay pit had opened on Edward's branch line. When it did, the docks get busier and busier. Poor Edward felt rushed off his wheels, sorting out the trucks in the harbour. And the clay pits. He also had to take his trains, so shunting was usually at the last minute. Edward tried not to show that he was tired. However, it came to boiling point one day.